are being asked to watch for any signs that their children are worried. Beat Bullying today published their back to school survey, and Caimin from the charity is here with us. Thanks very much for joining us. I mean, that transition can be really hard for some children going from primary school to secondary school, especially when their primary school friends aren't going with them. What sort of signs should parents be looking out for?
Well, as you say, it's a very real and serious concern for young people. In the reports that we issued just today with Parentage, it reveals that the majority of children, especially making that transition from primary to secondary, are scared about being bullied. And in essence, we would just say, just look out for any incidents and make sure that that you speak to an adult about it, whether it's a parent or indeed a staff member, because it's just not acceptable and no child should be worried about going to school.
And actually, this survey showed that 58% of primary school pupils worry about bullying at secondary school, and 53% of secondary school pupils lie in order to be able to fit in with their peers. So if you're a parent who's watching, are there any specific signs that could show that something's happening with your child?
Well, I suppose there are some signs, like, for example, seeing your child withdraw or just start behaving in a different way that's not typical for them. However, sometimes the signs aren't there, so it's really just best to have an open dialogue, and most importantly, to let them know that if they are being bullied, there are places they can go for help. They're not alone. They can come to sites like beatbullying.org where they can speak to people their own age, and ultimately just keep an open conversation with your children. Ask them if they're being bullied, and if so, then act on that information.
And are there enough guidelines and support in place at schools to help children in these situations?
Well, there are guidelines, and all schools have policies. However, it's really important that schools take a proactive approach. So, for example, having mentors within schools really help, and it's really up to all of us, government, service providers, as you mentioned before, because of course it's not just offline, it doesn't stop at the school gates anymore, it's also surrounding young people and it's following them. So we need to all join up services to make sure young people are more
safe. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.